I feel like also that's one great thing. When we started dating, I didn't like. It's like I didn't like tell her like, hey, I'm this and this. And I told her pretty much what I lacked of. Like I always flex and like, oh, I do this, I tour, blah blah. I'm a musician, blah. Look at me. But when we hang out, we work friends first, and then I was like, yeah, and she will hear everything and like from everything, all the things all the wrong things you could tell somebody to impress them, like total
Right.
opposite of impress them, more like run away. But like then everything was so laid out that it was just perfect to go through everything. There was no like things that nobody knew about. So whenever
Yeah,
we,
and it's I think
yeah,
it's very important to like keep your partner in open, because like again we're hitting like 30s, so like or like late 20s, so it's important. Like obviously we all have past, and some people want to hear about it, some people don't want to hear about it, but like it's good to understand that your partner had the past, especially like I've been single for 9 years,
Yeah.
and my man I hope he is like fine with that, but like he established that he is fine with that, because you cannot erase it. You cannot like hit like time machine and go back in time and erase that or change that stuff. It is what it is. It comes with my experience. I grew a lot since then, and I'm ready like to hit another level, like bunch of other levels. And it's different, especially when the good person and the like legitimate person comes through. um
Yeah.
but then let's go more into like sex,
Actually.
because
like
it's
sex.
I'm not gonna be tired to repeat it. It's reboot
You start.
episode of from we transferring from Daily Dick Show to a new name that is a surprise for you guys. So we are going to still do sex, just under the different name for the podcast. So Bex, I'll start first on the biggest double standard is that if you give head, you don't have to actually return it like back. Like when a woman gives a head to a guy, it doesn't necessarily mean that he will give you head back.
Hmm.
Have you ever faced that?
I sure have.
And that is so fucked up. David, have you ever done that?
No, like I said, I'm an equal guy.
I don't believe that. You've
Me?
I
not
mean,
given
what if
head
it
to
was
every.
like like a
I
very weird hookup, and you just like,
This is not. We know this
Well,
is not true.
that's true. You know what? I am probably it's true. It's probably it's true that it's a standard. Like, you know what?
You choose the girls that you want to give head to. You don't give head to every girl that
and
you
those
That's
want
like
to
true.
give.
guys, and those guys that press on your head to go down, you just like, I'm sorry. There's a door. You have to leave now. TikTok, motherfucker, because it's actually disrespectful in any terms of relationship. Uh, I don't even appreciate when like my hand being taken to the dick unless I am comfortable with the person and la la la, and it's a part of our like inside game or inside relationship. It is fine, but when they do just like here, I'm like, I don't do that. Why would you
Yeah.
do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like the whole point of sex. We actually were talking about this the other day, but like the whole point of sex being about the guy getting off and then it's done and over.
Wait. Let me roll my eyes once again. Not enough. Never enough.
I feel like now that you say that, I do feel like guys always expect that the head, but like I do now that I think I have to study, I have to go back in history and like and think, but like I do feel like that's like yeah, it's like a standard, but like I don't know. I feel like I've always, although like not all my full self always been like a preacher of being like respectful.
Right.
Somewhat I'll always try to be as respectful as I could, even though but like nowadays, hell yeah, because I don't do like anything like that I don't feel proud of. But like if I ever did but in that kind of settings, I feel like I always been mindful, and always being respectful because like I feel like I always hear so many bad stories
Hmm.
that like I always feel like a necessity to be different, you know. But of course, there's other ways that I was being disrespectful that that they were not physically or have to do with like the way probably I talk or the way I'm not paying attention. It's like things that was a fault for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like
Well, we
that's
all been there. Like we all have those kind of experiences. But like the point is like, yeah, it's like very ultimate stereotype and double standard that a woman like expected to give head, when a guy he will take his time to come around the door of the pussy because it's like inside organ.
like some of my guy friends in Panama, of course, they'll be like, "Oh, now you all like about this relationship," but it's funny because like it, it hit me like us as guys, we try to be like, oh, like cool and shit, and yeah, like always being cool, but like, and girls like that. But I think the sweet spot, it's like whenever a guy's like a good boyfriend,
A nice
a
guy.
nice fucking guy.
Not even like a nice guy, a nice person, because like I am all down for, crawling in bed with my man. We're not having sex tonight, just like I'm very like out there girlfriend, right? Or a woman of my man. I'm like, I'm gonna make sure you tucked into your sleep well, I'm gonna kiss all over your face. It's like little things that are really like nice and sweet, not just like dirty, like bang, 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 which is always nice. Well, I hope it's always nice for everyone in a relationship, but those like little things that matters, which makes you like not only your boyfriend, girlfriend type of like relationship, but also like a human, and you are building something inside of it because you're like very sensitive towards each other, because
Yeah.
this is because like sex at some point will pass, because you see like all this like cute grandpa and grandmas, they're holding hands in their 90s, they don't have sex anymore. What do you think they're doing the entire day?
Um, Gun blowjobs.
I hope they are, but like on the other hand, it's like it's a built foundation in relationship as it is,
Yeah.
with good and bad when it comes. But yeah, it's a nice thing when you just like can have this like, little things inside besides like physical attraction.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Comes
And
with
it's
that.
important. I was reading something the other day that was talking about how, like, you can just like touch a guy and then he's horny and wants to have sex. But like a girl, like, has to get there emotionally to actually, like, not like they have to be in love with the person, although that helps, but like they have to, like, you have to like be able to conceive the idea of sex and like emotionalize it before having sex with this person.
I actually think you have a
Yeah.
really good point on that, because like even if you're in a relationship for like some period of time, and then your personality is the sex driven thing, because you've been to like dick and pussy, like already for each other, but what keeps it going is a personality, because like you can have a snitch like made up body with ass, boobs, lips, I don't know, whatever like people do. uh it's just still a personality that attracts. It is like personality. I want to like
Yeah.
you see me, and I want you to have a hard on, not because we're gonna fuck, but because you saw me and you be able to hug
Yeah.
me. And that is what is a turn on, is a pure turn on after those like honeymoon stages.
Yeah.
Like the
And
like the particular one, which is like 3 months of like getting all the sex and drive within, and then afterwards come to relationship.
yeah. And like this is not to knock like casual sex. Like I'm definitely like people can do whatever they want. But there is something so different about having sex with someone you love or care for, that just is so transcendent to another level because you love them and you care about them and you want to make sure that it's a good experience for everyone involved and it's not a selfish, I need something in this moment thing.
For sure.
And I also found that it's interesting because it's not only about like, oh, I want to come thing, even if you both, which is very important, if you both don't come, it's also good because you enjoy the process.
Mhm.
so much that you don't even care. I mean, obviously, like getting off is nice for both genders, but like the intimacy that you have, like I think it calls like love making and stuff.
Mhm.
That is what it's important, where you don't actually, because like let's say rushing for the orgasm, it's a hard work. Sometimes for males, sometimes for females as well. Well, like most of the time for females, unless you know where your G spot is. But then it is nice to not to rush anywhere and just like stay in the moment, try different positions, do it for hours, but like eventually no one comes, and it's also nice because you had this like intimacy between you that keeps you going, and you're not even getting frustrated even if you didn't come.
Mm.
Sure. I think it's also like important to like explore sexuality as a couple. Like whatever that means for to always think like to always try also find time to like what can you make what can be new, what can we do new, what's to also like spend because each part I feel like it takes you gotta take care of every part. Like every relationship have so many parts, right? So like I mean some people are not sexual driven or whatever, so
It's
like that's good
fine.
for us. If you are, then you actually should take care of it and be like, what do we do? Like make sure that you're both happy, like
Yeah.
it's okay to say like no, I don't like that. Or be like, hey, I would like this. And be okay to say like, hey, I like that. And she'll be like, oh, you like that? Okay. Like
Let's
be
try it. Yeah, why not?
yeah, like it's like it is cool and be like, oh, never mind, we're not doing that again. It's like that's the
Yeah,
fun.
that is the beauty that you mentioned, David, is that you cannot know what you like or don't like in action unless you try it. And that's very important as a couple to like just experiment. Like, okay, maybe I had this like entire fantasy, but it worked out like really whack, and you just like, oh yeah, hell no. I'm like, as you said, we're not doing that again. So it's really good perspective on the things, like to as a couple to experiment and try things. Otherwise, how would you know?
Mhm.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's the biggest turnoff of your life,
Yeah.
and you've been in the shadow the entire time. The fuck?
I just think that, double standards are unfortunately inherent to society and to different relationships. But the first thing is to acknowledge that they exist. And then you can start figuring out how you fit in with them from there.
Yeah. And there are ones that you can use in your advantage. Go for it.
Yes.
Healthy advantage.
Healthy.
Healthy advantage.
Thank you, David and Bex. I think it's very important to like acknowledge them, and if they're really fucked up and they don't even like fit in like nowadays society, it's very important to like have an outspoken personality and mind to speak about it, like that it's fucked up and it's not okay, as we were talking in the beginning about the having babies and getting married before you're 30. Fuck that stereotype. We live to like good 60s, 70s, it's just we just like starting our life after 25, 6, 7-ish into living, and it's fine. I think this is like one of the most very harsh double standards that is pressed within the society in general. So if you're out there, it's not a microwave a competition. Take your time, do whatever is best for you. Thank you very much, Bex and David, for joining our reboot episode of our podcast, the name that you will know in a week or
Okay.
so. Coming up with a whole rebranding thing for you guys, for you to be able to share the stories, for us to come out wider in everything, la la la, yada 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 things, because apparently Daily Dick show was too explicit. But anyways, we are happy to enter a new stage. Thank you for being a part of this episode. I highly appreciate it. On the end of me and Dee, who couldn't join us today, we love you. We appreciate you. Thanks for drinking on Saturday at 11. No, like
Yeah.
noon time.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you. And thank you very much for sharing your thoughts and be with us.
Yeah. Our
Yay.
pleasure.
I'm sorry, it got me emotional. Nearly death
But yeah,
experience. I looked into it like it's from so different perspectives, and I was like, damn. Okay, as Beck said, you cannot leave the screen while Zoom is on.
Yeah.
The only thing David is doing is just like pouring the glass. I love it. That's the spirit for Saturday morning. I'm not judging though. I'm just jealous because I didn't start drinking that early.